William Regal warned us, politely in Queen's English, like a man offering crumpets during a funeral. Long before the NXT glory days, WWE's developmental system was a pressure cooker run by washed-up bullies and part-time sadists. Regal saw it, lived it, then tried to warn us. He didn't rant. He sighed. Things were done a certain way. He'd say, code for, this place ate souls. But WWE didn't want warnings. They wanted stars. And if a few broken bodies got swept under the Performance Center ring, so be it. Regal saw the damage coming, and they ignored him. Before WWE painted the Performance Center gold and started calling NXT the third brand, their developmental system looked like a gym that got kicked out of prison. OVW, Deep South, FCW, all of them ran like Fight Club with a lighting rig. It wasn't about training, it was about breaking you before you broke the ring. William Regal, the quiet sentinel of chaos, didn't sugarcoat it. He called it the Wild West. And if Regal, a man who once wrestled with liver failure and never flinched, calls it wild, that means it was full-blown Mad Max with protein shakes. In an interview on Talk is Jericho, he said, "There was a time when you either had to fight or disappear, and not everyone was built for that." Translation: if you couldn't take a rib, a punch, or public humiliation in front of 20 screaming meatheads, you were out. No contracts, no support, no HR. Just pain and push-ups until you either cried or quit. And trainers? They weren't mentors. They were ex-wrestlers who aged out, got bitter, and took it out on the next batch of dreamers. Regal saw it firsthand. Rookies getting stretched, mocked, broken, and told it was paying dues. One got body-shamed. Another was kicked out for asking questions. Most were just forgotten. WWE wanted heat, not humanity. If you broke, that just meant you didn't want it bad enough. Regal tried to make it easier. He taught psychology. He offered advice. He showed up for people nobody noticed. But the system didn't want kindness. It wanted soldiers. And if you had to step over a few broken futures to make Roman Reigns, so be it. Regal was trying to build wrestlers. WWE was busy building trauma. Bill DeMott walked into WWE developmental like it was a military base and he was leading a war nobody asked for. He wasn't a trainer. He was a walking HR violation with a whistle. Regal never buried him outright, but you could hear the tension every time his name came up, like a teacher forced to co-sign a detention slip for the school bully. When the DeMott abuse scandal broke in 2015, the internet gasped. Wrestlers came forward with horror stories, slurs, threats, injured talent forced to keep training, and humiliation used as cardio. He allegedly told a trainee with a neck injury to keep bumping or leave. That's not tough love. That's a lawsuit in gym shorts. Meanwhile, Regal stood in the background like a guy watching a house burn down after warning the owner 10 times that the wiring was bad. He once said, "I tried to help people through a system that was designed to destroy them before it built them." That wasn't metaphor, that was developmental. And DeMott, he wasn't a glitch in the system, he was the system. Under his watch, developmental turned into a sweat-drenched reality show called Who Wants to Be Traumatized? People thought Bill was building warriors. No, he was creating PTSD in track pants. And the worst part? WWE backed him for years. They ignored emails. They dismissed complaints. They let him resign voluntarily after public pressure, like he tripped and fell into accountability. Regal never gloated. He just kept mentoring, kept protecting, kept quietly cleaning up the mess while DeMott played boot camp fantasy. But the damage was done. Dozens of careers derailed, some lives never recovered, and all because the company thought abuse built character. Turns out all it built was fear and a trail of broken kids. Regal tried and failed to save. William Regal wasn't just born with wisdom. He earned it the hard way, one collapsed lung and painkiller at a time. Before he was WWE's elegant elder statesman, he was a functioning addict doing 30-minute clinics while his body begged for mercy and his brain ran on fumes. He said it himself. There was a time I couldn't walk through an airport without needing a drink, and I couldn't get in the ring without something in my system. And WWE? They didn't stop him. They just booked him. He nearly died in 2003. Liver failure, heart issues, a full system shutdown. That wasn't the wake-up call for the company. That was his. Regal turned his second chance into a mission. Protect the young guys before they turned into him. He didn't preach. He didn't lecture. He just quietly made sure you didn't die chasing a dream no one would protect. By the time he was scouting for NXT, Regal could spot a future star and a future tragedy with the same look. That's why he clashed, quietly, with guys like DeMott. Regal knew what unchecked ego and untreated trauma could do. He lived it. DeMott was repeating it, and the system let him. Regal once said he only survived because certain people showed kindness when he didn't deserve it, so he paid that debt forward. One backstage talk, one text at a time. The man became a walking rehab center, emotional triage in a suit. But for every talent he saved, there were 3 more being broken by a system that didn't want caretakers. It wanted product. The WWE loved Regal's brain. They respected his eye for talent. But when he tried to clean up their mess, they smiled, nodded, and left him holding the mop. By the time Titan Towers figured out it had a culture problem, Willian Regal had been quietly patching that culture up with duct tape and trauma bonding for over a decade. They didn't fix the system. They just promoted the one guy who didn't abuse it. Willian Regal became the face of NXT's golden age, the talent scout, the mentor, the cool boss who actually listened. But behind that shiny exterior was the same old house of horrors. Bill DeMott was gone, sure, but the wounds weren't. The mental health issues, the addiction hangovers, the guys who walked away without ever debuting because the dream wasn't worth it anymore. Regal saw it all coming. He'd been saying it for years, but WWE didn't want warnings. They wanted PR recovery. So what did they do when Triple H lost power? When the black and gold brand got gutted and Vince's yes men took over? They fired Regal. The one guy who tried to shield talent from the machine got shown the door the second it was convenient. And still, no bitterness, no shoot interviews, no Scorched Earth podcast tour. Just Regal quietly working for AEW, still scouting, still mentoring, still cleaning up wreckage Vince left behind like an unpaid janitor in a suit. He warned us. He warned them. And like always, WWE only cared once the lawsuits came. In the end, Regal didn't need to scream. He just needed time, and history made his case for him. Willian Regal warned us, not with fireworks, not with a podcast mic and Red Bull rage. He warned us like a man who's already buried too many friends and didn't want to buy another suit. He knew the system was broken because it broke him, and when it started grinding up kids the same way, he stepped in, quiet, composed, exhausted, and tried to stop it from the inside. WWE let him, until they didn't. They used his face to sell respect, but ignored his voice when he said, "This will destroy people." And destroy it did, bodies, minds, careers. While DeMott screamed like a wrestling boot camp drill sergeant and talent dropped like flies, Regal was the guy in the back whispering, "It doesn't have to be like this." But in WWE, that whisper was never going to beat the roar of profit. They tried to warn us. Regal did warn us. And if you missed it, that's not on him. That's on the company that turned trauma into a production model and hoped nobody checked under the ring for the bodies. If you're tired of corporate documentaries painting abuse as tough love and calling trauma character building, hit like and subscribe. This series is peeling back the curtain on the real stories that the WWE really hopes you forgot. The ignored warnings, the buried truth, and the people who saw the storm coming. Regal didn't scream, he whispered. We're turning it up. New episodes daily. Stay tuned. Stay loud, stay unworked. Thanks for watching.